It's been over a month since the Apple Watch Ultra was released. Is it the best watch Apple has ever made? Or is it overkill? Is it just for the extreme sports people? Or is it for you? Is it for me? Is it for anybody? First off, we're going to talk about the size because that's what most people seem to be concerned with is it too big? They only give us one size this year for the Ultra. 49 inches, bigger than any watch they've ever made. And is it just too big for people's wrist? I measured my wrist. It's around 180, 185 millimeters circumference, whatever it is. But anyway, I think the watch looks good. I like it on my wrist. I've also put the watch on my son's wrist, on my wife's wrist, on a baby's wrist. Now the baby loved it. He did. He even said, "This is the best watch ever." I'm just kidding. He's 6 months old. He didn't say anything, but he did touch it like crazy and try to play with it. So I think that was him saying this is the best watch ever. Once the watch is on my wrist, I really don't notice a difference between it and the old one at all as far as the weight or anything like that. The watch is actually quite lightweight, but the one thing that I have noticed is sometimes when I would sleep track with my old one, I would actually turn it around to wear it underneath my wrist just to kind of change the way it would wake me up in the morning because sometimes I'd sleep through the vibration of the watch. And I can't really do that anymore because when it's underneath my wrist, I can definitely feel the thickness of the watch because it is thicker. Other than that, I've not noticed a difference. I just can't do that anymore, which is perfectly fine because honestly, I feel like this has a stronger vibration than the old watches and it seems to do really well at waking me up every morning. So I don't have that problem anymore, which is great. But here's what it all comes down to. If you can get to an Apple store, go there, try the watch on, see what you think. If you think it feels fine, then it feels fine. Don't worry what other people think. If other people say, "Oh, that watch looks way too big on your wrist," you know what you say? You say, "Mind your own business," because I think it looks great. I think it feels great. And I love the features that having the bigger screen and everything else that comes with the Ultra gives me. But that's the public service announcement for this video. If you like the way it looks, don't worry what other people think. Pricing is another thing that people go back and forth on. The price in the US is $799. I personally think the price is great because it's actually cheaper than the titanium model from last year. It's actually the same price as the stainless steel 45 millimeter with a $100 valued band. And that is amazing because the stainless steel and the Ultra version are kind of the watches that I've always recommended, mainly because they have a sapphire screen. That sapphire screen is way more durable. I've never scratched the screen on my watch. I can't say that about my son's watch. I can't say that about my wife's old watch. They bought the sports model, which was what they used to call it, and those things have scratches on them like crazy. I don't like screen protectors. I want my watch to be able to protect itself, and that's what you get when you get one of those stainless steel or now the Ultra watch, is you get that sapphire screen. And I mean, it handles really well. And that's why I think the price is worth it even for me, somebody that sits at their desk all day, somebody that's not running marathons and not doing all these extreme sports through desert split places and all this stuff that they show in the ad. I'm not gonna climb the Himalayas. I don't even know where the Himalayas are.
Himalayas? Why, you four-legged Marco Polo, that's in Asia!
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be able to use this watch, work out with it, and just not worry about battery life. The screen brightness is also insane. Like, I love the way the screen works on this thing. You can go out in broad daylight and have no issues seeing the watch face, which is so good. So good.
I got you!
The flat screen is another thing that I really love about this watch. I mean, it's way more durable, which is great, but also it just looks different. And the watch has looked the same since the very first generation. So I'm so glad that Apple finally changed something, because I'll be honest, I was getting very bored with the Apple Watch. I was looking at non-smartwatches just because they look different. They have different things. This isn't a big difference, but it's enough. It's enough to just revitalize my love for the Apple Watch. And I'm just so glad they did it. Now, a couple of the other features that they added was crash detection and temperature stuff. These are on all the Series 8 models as well. Temperature thing, sorry, I'm not a girl. I can't track ovulation, which seems to be the biggest selling factor for this. I've also not gotten sick in this last month since I've had it. I have looked at it and it's gone up and down just a little bit, and that's pretty much it. So I have no real info for you on, is it going to tell when I'm sick? I guess I should try harder. Maybe I should go into like a school of a bunch of little kids and see if I can get sick, have them all cough on me or something. Crash detection is another one of those features that I personally have not tried out yet. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible YouTuber apparently, because other YouTubers have actually tried this out. Wow. Mass props to you guys. You guys are completely insane. I would not do it. But my local amusement park did make the news because apparently some roller coaster caused false positives with this and called 911 because I guess the way it stopped or whatever at the end of the roller coaster made the watch think that it was in an accident. Which I just think is hilarious. I haven't visited that and rode a roller coaster there. I did go to Universal this month and I did hop on a couple roller coasters, but the watch had no issues. It didn't detect that I was in a crash or anything like that. So it worked as expected for me. The battery increasement is one of the biggest selling features for this watch, even for us non-extreme athletes, because I can wear this thing multiple days without charging it, which is awesome. And I've even tested, like I can just throw it on while I'm getting ready and go like a whole week without having it. Like I like sleep tracking. I like using it as an alarm. I don't want to keep it on the charger. I like wearing my watch as long as possible. And with this watch, like I don't even hardly have to ever take it off, which is so great. I love it. And it's definitely worth it for that alone. I don't think it's overkill. And I can't wait to see what they do with it in the next version and the version after that. But I still would like to hear what you all think about the Apple Watch Ultra. Are you planning on buying one? Do you already have one? What do you think? Is it overkill or is it not? Leave a comment down below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Also, if you want to get the most out of the action button on the Apple Watch Ultra, I got a video right here for you. I'll see you all in the next one. God bless.